What's up, guys? It's Missy. I'm back with another SimCity Build It video. Today we're going to talk a little bit about a technical issue that somebody in my group experienced and the bullshit response that they got from SimCity Build It. And the reason that I call it a bullshit response is because you'll find out here in a minute, because you're going to see how stupid this response was. And this isn't the first time I've gotten a BS response from these people, okay? So, first things first, if you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button. Now, this person that is in my group uses a cloning app, and he runs multiple cities on one device. However, they are still legitimate cities. He does have a hacked account, but that has nothing to do with this particular incident. So he has been running feeder cities to feed his main capital map, or his main city, I would say. And like many of us have, I'm sure most of you that have been playing the game for long periods of time have done rare trades in high quantities. I can think of, I don't know how many instances, maybe hundreds, where when I was paired up with a partner of mine swapping dozer and storage, that we would drop 200-300 items in our depots, rare items in our depots, back and forth. That way I could sell him all my dozer and he could sell me all his storage, and then vice versa. So, have you ever experienced a situation where you post something for sale in your trade depot and it is not visible to the people in your group or to yourself on your feeder, and you have the item unlocked? Yes, and usually 9 times out of 10, the way to fix it is to check your Wi-Fi or your internet and resync your internet. Turn it on, turn it off, and voila, the item appears. Or you can click the trade depot and then click back on, or the HQ, and then click back on the trade depot. 9 times out of 10, that fixes the problem and your item appears, saying they have it unlocked. Now, we know that he has dozer unlocked on his main map, so we know that is not the issue. We know that his internet is working properly because he's able to see other items posted since he has posted the rare items. So he, out of frustration, being how he had posted like 40 dozer wheels at one time, he contacts SimCity. I basically tell him you need to contact them and explain the issue and basically ask him what the hell's going on. I did pre-warn him that he was probably going to get a bogus response, and sure as shit, this is the response that he got. Hi, Mayor. Thank you for contacting us. I understand that you are wondering why the items in your trade depot are not visible to all your friends and club members. The global market in SimCity Build It is a complex system. There is no guarantee that the items in your trade depot are always presented to other players in the same way as you see them. Depending on how many items are being sold at a time, item type can also affect this. Please try to sell fewer items at a time to solve this issue. It's always advisable to place the items in your trade depot only if you wish to sell them in the global market. Tell me you would accept that response if you had 40 rares go missing from a feeder to your capital. No, that has nothing to do with it. They gave him a bullshit response. It's a complex system. They are not as visible to you as they are to other people. Please tell me they're joking. Because we all know if he would have put up 97 nails, they'd be there, right? Okay. And a complex system, when they say that, they say, it is no guarantee that the items in your trade depot are always presented to other players in the same way as you see them. That makes it sound like if you put them for sale, if you put nails for sale in the top left box, if somebody else clicks your trade depot, it may not be in the top left box. That's what that sounds like, and that is true because of level unlocks. That is true, right? But this response is unacceptable. People make a feeder city, right? And whether or not it's a feeder city or you're just selling it to a club member, maybe Let's just say that feeder city was my city and I was selling him dozer wheels. And I'm telling him that I'm posting them and he's saying they're not there. And I'm saying, bullshit, I'm looking at my screen. Why can't he see them? That is a completely unacceptable response. I don't buy it. I don't buy that, oh, well, they're visible out there somewhere to somebody. No, they're not, because he could have advertised them and they wouldn't have sold. Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Why every one of his accounts, every one of his club members, every single time that he clicks on his depot, they're there. Then I tell him, I'm like, all right, add me to your feeder. And he adds me and I go and I travel there and it's not visible to me. And I say, okay, post something for sale. And he posted 3 metal and I was able to purchase it. So my best guess would be that they assume that he's hacking. And I do know that this will happen if you use or pull items from a hacked account. There was an instance where another friend of mine had made a hacked city. He was using Game Guardian. And when he would try to sell the items within clubs, he couldn't. And he couldn't buy them and he couldn't see them between his friends list or his club members. But he could sell them to the global HQ because they were hacked items. He claims that he didn't hack these items. He claims that they only came from the global trade. I don't know if it has something to do with the cloning app that he's using. I doubt it. I mean, it could. I don't know. All I know is it has nothing to do with the response or reasons that they gave him. For whatever reason, they put a block on it and they assume that he's hacking, is my guess, is my best guess. So let me know if you guys have had this issue with them or had this issue where you were not hacking, you had completely legit accounts, and this same incident occurred. And let me know what response they gave you guys. There's been other technical issues and other responses that I've gotten from them. For example, I had a game question, and I asked them how many tokens it costs to complete 1 gold token, 1 silver token, and 1 bronze token. Now, everybody has a different opinion or answer on this, and they will say things like, oh, well, if you have this many epics, it costs this many tokens. Or if you've collected 250 tokens over a course of time, it will cost this many to complete. Up to a maximum of 20 token pieces per gold epic that you collect. Well, mine, and I know this for a fact, have cost 20 gold pieces ever since day 1. And I didn't collect 250 tokens. So, is it the token pieces that have to complete 250? Is it total amount of tokens? Why can't we see this counter? If that's the case, why can't we see the counter of the 250 or how many tokens we've collected? That way we know where we're at and when it's going to increase by value. That would stand to reason, right? Yeah, no, because it's a bullshit answer. Doesn't make any sense. I've had people with 20 epics have it cost 8 pieces, and people with 3 epics have it cost 20 pieces. There is no rhyme or reason for it, and it's completely unfair, really. And every time I write Simcity on it, I get a different response. Same with the keyboard issue, where people are having issues where they're typing in the group chat and their keyboard continuously drops down. It used to happen to me all the time. On an LG device, doesn't happen now on my Motorola device. Happened on my iPad, happened on every other Android phone I've ever had, but it doesn't happen on my Motorola phone. There's some people that just can't type when they're on the war screen. They have no keyboard at all. Or there's just the whole annoying thing where your game just shuts off randomly. It doesn't happen on my Motorola phone, but it happened on every other device I've ever used to play this game. And most of you that are listening to this video, you have probably had all of those issues happen to you or had the same questions, especially if you've been playing the game for long periods of time. There are other technical issues that occur with this game. For example, I bought a brand spanking new $300 Stylo 4 when it first came out. I had the Stylo 3 previously. And the game would run, and it looked excellent. It looked better than it ever had because, you know, I had went from a 3 to a 4. And I could play, and everything was fine. All the way up until the tutorial. And right as I would connect my save data, boom, couldn't open the app ever again after that. Now, Simcity claims that it was the cell phone company that was the issue, and the cell phone company complains that it was the game, right? So, that being said, I had just purchased the phone, and being how I play this game constantly, having it not work on my phone was a major issue for me. So, I returned the phone that same day, and I got a second Stylo 4, brand new out the box. Same problem occurred. Don't know why. Couldn't tell you. But you take it to the phone place and they go, oh, well, maybe it doesn't meet the specifications, the requirements. Yes, it does. If the Stylo 3 met the requirements, you know the Stylo 4 does, okay? And it plays through the tutorial. So what would be the reason for it playing through the tutorial, and the moment that you collect your save data, it crashes out? So then I thought, you know what? Fine. I won't connect my save data. I'll just see if it works without it. Nope. Couldn't do that either. The moment that I got through the tutorial and I shut the game to try to reload it, never opened after that. And what it would do is it would load up to the screen, to the loading screen, and then it would blink black and it would shut immediately. Now, this was super frustrating because it was almost every time that I got home, this would happen. So there were times where I would be standing in the phone store, and check this out. I would open the game and it would work. And it was rare. It was like 1 in every 100 times I opened it, it would work. Now, is it a game issue? Is it bugs? Is it whatever? I don't know. It could be the device. It could be there's certain operating systems that, for whatever reason, they just don't mix well with the Simcity Build It game. But the point is, I read technical support issues constantly on these forums, and I see people of all different phone carriers, all different brands having the same exact issue. I don't know if anybody's had this issue with the Moto G7 Power, because that's what I have. Yeah, that's what I got. But I'm sure it's out there. I'm sure if I type that into the Google, you know, I'd find somebody that hasn't been able to have a successful gameplay. I actually had an instance where I had a specialization building. I believe it was a mayor's building, and it was unable to be bulldozed. Okay, so the only button available was a storage button. I had screenshots and video gameplay to prove that I owned this particular building prior to it disappearing. I contacted Simcity. I provided them with the screenshots and the video evidence that, yes, this was in fact the city. I did have the building. And back then, when you would earn the buildings, you would go up each season. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And you would earn these buildings. Well, the one that I was missing was from the league number 3. So it would stand to reason that if I have the building from the Megapolis League, then I would have the building from the City League, and I had screenshots to prove it, right? So their response to me was, you must have bulldozed it. So I send them back a response, and I say, look, you guys made this game. You guys work for this company, and you don't know that this building cannot be bulldozed? So I opened up my screen, and I showed screenshots of each and every one of those mayor's buildings, and I showed them that there was no bulldoze button. And what they did was they said, oh, okay, we're sorry, we'll compensate you. And they gave me $250 cash because they couldn't fix the building issue. But the issue was that, here, just a second here. Okay, so as I was saying, which I can't actually remember where I was exactly at, but basically the moral of the story is that every time a technical issue occurs, I get a response that doesn't solve the issue and makes no sense. Right now, I have an email out to them because a member of my group came across, she likes to read a lot and she does a lot of searching on the internet, and she came across a form that claimed that we had new regional epics. So that if you do an epic on the regional map, that it has the chance to transform into a new type of epic. And I was curious as to if this was actually true, if it's a rumor, because I have done some regional epics. I haven't been dabbling with it too much right now, but I do remember hearing something about new buildings. I just don't know if it was true or not. And when I did some research on the game and looking on their website, I couldn't see anything that said that they were. Now, I could have missed something. I'm not saying that I didn't miss something, but I couldn't find anything that was legit from SimCity Buildit that says, yes, there are regional epics. There's this many per regional map, or this many variations, or there's one per category, or anything like that. So I have an email sent out to them, and they messaged me back and they said that they are reviewing my email and that they would get back to me, and I have yet to hear from them. So I will let you guys know once I do hear from them. But if any of you happen to know if that is a legit thing, put it in the comments below, because I mean, like I said, it would be nice to know. The thing that is super frustrating about this game is it has a lot of bugs. It has a lot of, little minor issues with it. But the more frustrating thing is that even though their customer service is actually pretty good at hacking, and that they will reimburse you some cash for your problems, it is nice that they give you something back. Like they did give me the 250 cash back, but a better answer as to why my building just disappeared out of nowhere would have been nice, or replacing it, which I don't know if there's some way that they would even be able to do that, or just something, maybe even more, because there was another instance where $1,000 cash disappeared out of my game. Now, if you guys know and you've seen my videos, you know that my capital map, there is no room to place anything, okay? None. So I didn't place a building down, right? I looked at my screenshots from the night before, and I did not have any more coins than I had when I woke up. So therefore I could not have purchased a coin pack, and there is no coin pack for $1,000 even. I don't believe. Let me make sure before I say that. But I'm pretty sure that there is no coin pack for 1,000 cash even. That being said, it stood to reason that where the hell did my money go, right? The amount that was missing made no sense as to where it went. So I contacted them again, providing them with screenshots, and their response was, okay, well, we're sorry, here's 250 cash. No. Excuse me? I want my 1,000 cash back, not my 250. That's bullshit. Right? Yeah, so that's what the issue was. So if I was, oops, wrong one. Yeah, there was a $1,000 option. That's right. But there was 68,000 coins, and I had proof that I didn't receive those 68,000 coins. Now, is it possible that I somehow hit the button and spent it, but it didn't give me the coins? Yeah, it is possible. But in that case, they should either reimburse me for the coins or the money, right? Yeah. So it is frustrating when they don't do enough, or they don't give back enough. And I'm sure that there are going to be a lot of you in the comments section saying, this happened to me or that happened to me. And it's ridiculous and it's unacceptable. And I know that every game has its issues and whatnot, but a lot of people spend a lot of time on their cities or money, and they don't like having to rebuy things. And a lot of people don't spend money on the game, and they save that cash up, and these accidental in-game purchases are messed up, okay? I can't tell you how many times I have accidentally purchased like a textile or something like that, and it's ridiculous. So now I try not to keep any more than 2,000 cash on me at all times, and usually I rarely have over 500. But, and it's the same thing with the collect your stuff every day. It says days left are 6. That means, in my mind, what it should mean is that unless I claim it, it should still be there. In other words, if I don't claim this every day, I lose that day, which is kind of messed up, I think. But, you know, it is what it is. So if you guys could, please put it in the comments below if you've had any technical issues, if you've gotten any responses from EA that seem to be completely bogus, basically. And once I hear back from them on the regional epics, I will let you guys know what they say. I know that I did have a list of technical issues somewhere that I was going to do a video on, so go ahead and keep an eye out for that. But please, if you guys have any things that have happened that you want to talk about, or like anything like that, I would actually like to hear your guys' stories and how those issues were resolved from EA. I'm not saying that their customer service is 100% crap, but it's up there. It's like 90%. You know what I mean? Like, that's not right. You don't sit there and search the global market for 40 dozer wheels and then have them give you some answer as like, oh, well, it's a complex system, so sorry. Really? I mean, honestly, is that even acceptable as an answer? So if you guys swap a lot of rares, my advice to you is to post 5 at a time, purchase 5 at a time, and do not post any more than those 5 if they can't see 5. And that is what I would do. That way you can avoid this issue from happening. All right, you guys, I have to go ahead and end this video. I'm going to put several videos out today, so please like, subscribe, and watch for those videos to come out.